Hello everybody and welcome to my channel Blue Lady Couture, and welcome to another adventure vlog. As you can see, I am dressed up in costume, which can only mean that it is an adventure vlog time. So we have come to the beautiful city of Bath here in England, in Somerset, and we are here for the Jane Austen Festival, and I'm so excited. We've not been for many years, but we've decided to come this year because I wanted to get some nice new videos of the outfits that I've made and some new photographs. So of course Bath is synonymous with Jane Austen. She lived here for a few years at the start of the 19th century, and some of her novels are of course set in Bath as well. So Bath now hosts a huge festival every year in September. The festival runs for a week. It started last night officially, but we are here for the grand opening of the festival today. We are going to start with a grand promenade through the centre of Bath. As you can see, there are lots of people behind me all dressed up, and we're all ready to set off at 11 o'clock. Yeah, so we are starting here in Sydney Gardens, and this is a place that Jane Austen herself would have been very familiar with. She actually lived just across the road at Sydney Place, and I'll show you some footage of her house there. And some of you might also recognise the building behind me. This is the Holborn Museum, and is the entrance to Sydney Gardens. But some of you, if you're a Bridgerton fan, may also recognise it as Lady Danbury's house. Yes, so obviously Bridgerton also is one of those Regency-esque series that is filmed a lot in Bath, so I'm hoping to show you lots of exciting sights around the city today. So yes, so we are setting off from here at 11 o'clock, and we shall promenade through the streets of Bath, and our end destination is going to be the beautiful assembly rooms in the centre of Bath, where there's going to be a Regency market. So I'm excited to do some shopping. I am on the lookout for a new bonnet, and who knows what other delicious little bits that I might find in the market as well. I'm also going to just note it is exceptionally hot here today in the UK. We're basically being forecast to have the hottest day of the year. Temperatures are expected to be certainly hit 30 degrees this afternoon, 30 degrees centigrade by the way. Which for us here in England, that's on the hot end of the scale. And yes, to be dressed up in costume and promenading out in the hot sunshine, it's going to be a warm one. So I have my trusty bonnet on. I do have my parasol. At the moment I have decided to forego my Spencer jacket because it's just so warm, and Mr. BLC is currently not wearing his wool coat that I've made for him, again because it's just going to be so warm, and especially when you're walking as well. Yes, then later on this afternoon I do have a photo shoot booked with a photographer. Again, another reason why I don't want to get my costumes really hot and sweaty is because I need to make sure they look nice for the photo shoot later on this afternoon. So I'm excited to show you more of my outfits, and if you haven't already, you can go and check out my making of videos from a few weeks ago when I was constructing the outfits for myself and the jacket for Mr. BLC. Please don't also forget to subscribe to my channel so you can be notified when my next videos go out. And if you love these kind of adventure vlogs where I go out and about to historical events, costume dress-up events, as well as sewing vlogs, costuming vlogs, those kind of things, then you are in the right place. So I do hope you will stick around and join me both on this vlog and in future vlogs as well. If you're a fan of Jane Austen, which is your favourite of her novels, let me know in the comments down below. That really helps my channel out if you leave me a comment, and if you can leave a like with the thumbs up button, that would be really fantastic. So let's go and get ready to promenade and see what exciting sights are in store for us here in Bath. So we've just walked up a little way into Sydney Gardens, and as you can see there's a beautiful pavilion here with these beautiful stone columns, and in here there's a little bit more information about the history of Sydney Park. It was pleasure gardens through the 18th and early 19th century, and up here we can see there is a quote from Jane Austen. I presume this is probably from one of her letters that she was writing at the time. She says, "Last night we were in Sydney Gardens again. We did not go till 9, and then we're in very good time for the fireworks, which were really beautiful and surpassing my expectation. The illuminations too were very pretty." And that was June 1799. And that's a train. So yes, you can just imagine the ladies and gents perambulating around the parks, probably getting up to things they shouldn't be as well. But yeah, it's one of those places in Bath where you came to see and be seen. You can see here, this is an illustration of Sydney House from the gardens in Bath. You can see the ladies and gentlemen walking around. There are children playing here as well. But you can see also these little booths up here, which I think have got tables in. Yeah, you can see tables up here, and well, basically you could sit and take refreshment. And then up here, probably minstrels playing. Also, apparently, it's another train. Good old Victorians building their trains right through the centre of town. And there was a labyrinth at one time as well. That doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately. And then at the back of the park, which I'll perhaps show you a little bit later, the Kennet and Avon Canal was built through. It's in a deep cutting, and they built bridges over the canal so as to not deter people from, so not to basically destroy the ambience of the park for the visitors. But yeah, the Kennet and Avon Canal was built, or started being built in 1800. So again, that's something that Jane Austen would have been familiar with seeing when she was living here. And I think that's one of the fascinating things, is that the Bath that we see today with its beautiful Georgian buildings is something that she would have been absolutely familiar with. We can literally walk in her footsteps. We can see the house where she lived, all the beautiful buildings, the streets, the street names that she mentions in some of her novels. Yeah, she was familiar with those, and I think it just brings a little bit more realism to her novels, and puts you in touching distance of that time, and yeah, when she was writing. It's absolutely fascinating. Jane Austen is one of my favourite of the classic English novelists, although I was introduced to her through of course, the 1995 Pride and Prejudice BBC series, the very famous one with Colin Firth and Jennifer L. Yes, that was my first introduction when I was just 10 years old, that were aired on British TV, and yes, it's one of those, I still vividly remember watching it. Sorry, the sun is very bright today, so I do apologise if it's glary or anything like that. So yeah, so from about 10 years old, I was pretty much obsessed with Pride and Prejudice. I used to rent the VHSs from the library and spend a Saturday evening when I was a teenager watching the entire 5 hours. Because what else does a teenager do? Then watch 5 hours of Lizzie and Mr. Darcy. And then also as a teenager, that was when I actually discovered Jane Austen's books and began reading her novels. And yeah, I just love them. I just find them fascinating. I love her wit, her stories, her characters. And yeah, it's just so fantastic to be here with so many other people that also, of course, enjoy her works. And of course, the fact that her works still endure, over 200 years later.
If it starts going into you, all I'll do is just get the bottom and hold it. March!
And we are off promenading through the streets of Bath. There's so many people here, and there's loads of people lining the route watching as well. It's really quite surreal. It's the famous Pulteney Bridge over the River Avon, which is a bridge, but you wouldn't believe it because it's lined with buildings and shops and streets. Here is famous Milsom Street, which again Jane Austen mentions in her novels, where the ladies would go shopping for their hats and the latest fashions. Yes, this area is called the Circus, and it's really beautiful. Just a huge circle of beautiful Georgian buildings, and actually, dare I say, I think it's more pretty than the Royal Crescent. The Royal Crescent is impressive, don't get me wrong, because it's huge, but this here, with the little square in the middle, is just so pretty, so lovely. All the little buildings just look like dolls' houses. Did you have a doll's house that looked like this when you were young? This is just the smaller of the two assembly rooms.
I'm gonna find one.
It's going to be very, very dangerous, and if I'm going to grab the bonnet that I think I want, I'm probably going to have to get it sooner rather than later. That's one of the ones I've got my eye on. I don't know if I can see the other one. carry my shopping for you. I may have done some damage in the middle of the store. Beautiful ballroom space. Can you just imagine dancing to balls in here? It would be incredible. And Jane Austen herself did come to this ballroom to dance at assemblies. This is one of 2 assembly rooms that were located in Bath during the Regency era. This was known as the upper rooms. The lower rooms was located further down in the city. They no longer exist, sadly. And these rooms themselves were actually very badly damaged during bombing in World War II, but they've been restored and they're now under the care of the National Trust, which is why we get to see them in all their glory today, which is absolutely wonderful.
Just telling you that you must know.
We're having fun there.
Maybe. You better go and say goodbye.
Why have I have my turn yet? I want to do scooting.
Okay, my friends are hungry, so I'm getting
Things we have learned: bonnets are not compatible with scooting.
Mr. BLC says it's a bit warm and he's asked that he doesn't appear on camera anymore today. I'm honest, I can't blame him. It's absolutely melting here in Bath this afternoon. Yes, I'm amazed. I actually still look like I'm not completely turned into a pile of goo. I can't talk, but yeah. He is addled my brain. So we've had a very lovely, although very, very hot well, not uncomfortable, but yeah, it's been a very hot and sweaty, sticky day here in Bath. Had a, amazing time walking on the promenade, through the streets, seeing everybody all dressed up. It was just incredible. So many fabulous costumes. Speaking to so many different people. There's people from all different countries who travelled here. It's just wonderful. And then we had a look around the market, and I did a spot of shopping. I will do a little haul to show you what I have bought at some point in this video. It's exciting. And then we met up with a photographer who has done a little mini photo shoot with us, so I could get some new footage. some new images of my Regency outfits for social media, and to go on my Etsy listings for my Spencer jackets. Because it's one of the things I just never really done properly, is get decent photos for that. So yeah, so it's really nice to do that, and I hope to push that out next year. And now we have come to a pub for tea for dinner. I have a well-earned cocktail that I'm going to throw all over the table.
That was drink something.
There's only like whoops. It's cold. It's nice. Well-earned cocktail. Yes, we have come to the Hall and Woodhouse pub here in Bath, which is the Hall and Woodhouse Brewery is one of Mr. BLC's absolute favourite breweries. Thank you so much. Yes, so if you're looking for a brewery that really embraces kind of British West Country cottagecore aesthetics, Hall and Woodhouse is the brewery for you. All of their beers are mostly named after like cute animals, aren't they? I mean, they're known as the Badger Brewery, aren't they? Yeah, they're known as the Badger Brewery. So and all their a lot of their beers are named after really cute animals. There's like thirsty ferret, hopping hare, tropical ferret. What was the thirsty?
Golden Glory.
Golden Glory. Yeah, it's and they have a lovely the pub here in Bath is absolutely lovely. Very it's got that kind of vintagey aesthetic, not quite steampunk, but it's, although the bar downstairs is completely made of polished copper, it's really beautiful. I'll try and get some footage later on before we go. But yeah, it's just really a really nice atmosphere in here. Really good food. I would normally have a fish finger sandwich, but they only do that at lunchtime, so I'm having something different and a bit lighter for this evening as well. It's really, really hot. So our food has just arrived. Mr. BLC has gone for, I'm going to probably pronounce it wrong, but the spicy sausage, Nduja sausage I think is how you say it, chicken supreme, so that looks yummy, but I don't like things like spicy Nduja sausage, it's too spicy for me, so I went for the butternut squash ravioli. Look nice and light and summery, but I can't face eating anything too heavy this afternoon, so that looks yummy. So tomorrow we have Regency picnic up on the Royal Crescent, so we'll be back in Bath with some more Regency shenanigans, and then we head home, because that's a whole other story, if you haven't heard that one. Yeah, basically we messed up the dates and booked the wrong week off work and the wrong date for the cottage. So we have to go home tomorrow night, which is Sunday night, and go back to work for a few days. Then Thursday we're coming back to Bath for some more Regency, more Regency events here at the festival. But you'll see more of those in the rest of this video. So yeah, stick around for our Regency picnic tomorrow in Bath. Good morning everybody, welcome to day 2 here at the Jane Austen Festival in Bath. We are heading up to a picnic with everybody else who's attended the festival up on the Royal Crescent. But the first thing this morning, Mr. BLC and I have a few, well, not errands to run, but we need to just nip into town and pick up our last few bits for our picnic. And we'll have about a couple of hours to kill before we kind of meet for the picnic in a little while. So I think we're going to just have a little bit of a moochie around. There's a bookshop that I might just pop my head into and see if they've got some books that I've got my eye on. And then we'll be heading up for our picnic this afternoon, and then we'll be heading home for a couple of days before we return to Bath in a few days' time to enjoy the rest of our week here in this fabulous city and the surrounding area. Also, you may notice, do you like my new hat? My new bonnet that I picked up at the market yesterday, and to go with my my new Spencer jacket that I made recently. Some of you might recognise this fabric. It is my linen fabric in petrol that I also have an Edwardian outfit in. I just happen to have a couple of meters in my stash, and I thought, you know what, I love this colour so much that I just thought, you know what, I'm going to make myself a Spencer for it. And then I spotted this hat from Farthingales, which is just the perfect colour to go with it. So I hope you like it. Right, we will carry on just running our errands, get some breakfast, and then we're gonna see who else is about for the picnic in a little while. So this is Gay Street leading down to Queen Square, and here we're looking at the Jane Austen Centre, where I'm hoping to pop in and pay a visit. Jane Austen did actually live on Gay Street for a little bit of time, not in this particular building, but she rented rooms at one point along the street. And that building there is the Mary Shelley Museum. And of course Mary Shelley is very famous for writing the novel Frankenstein. And I didn't know until very recently that Mary Shelley actually stayed in Bath in 1816, which is prior to when her novel Frankenstein was first published. So it is believed that she would have certainly worked on the novel while she was here. And yes, so now there is a museum dedicated to her memory and her life and her works. Just 2 doors up from the Jane Austen Centre. So I am hoping to visit both those museums, although I'm a little bit nervous about the Mary Shelley Museum. It might be a bit creepy. But yeah, they're both authors that have strongly influenced things that I'm interested in. Obviously Jane Austen and her works. Of course Mary Shelley and Frankenstein is one of the earliest, if not the earliest, science fiction novel, and obviously it has a huge influence on the steampunk scene. So I'm interested to visit both. Of course, with Bath being such a literary place, we couldn't not come and explore some of the bookshops, and Mr. B's Emporium is one of the most well-renowned bookstores in the city. So we're going to go and have a look in and see if we've got some exciting books to pick up. It's also one of the few big bookstores in the city that is actually open on a Sunday. One of the first books I've seen is this huge book just dedicated to the crinoline, so I'm kind of intrigued as to, look at that, that's huge. Got an awesome holographic image on the front. Some of the eagle-eyed among you may know or recall that the Fashion Museum, which is a very famous museum here in Bath, used to be located up at the Assembly Rooms, and they came out of there a couple of years ago, but it now looks like they're going to be going over here, down in the centre of town, which is the old post office building. So it'll be exciting to see what they put in there and what displays they have, so yeah, something to bear in mind for the future. And this is Bath's famous Abbey Square, with the Abbey at the end there, and right next door is the Roman Baths, and right next door to that is the Pump Rooms, which is of course the place where you went to see and be seen and take the waters while you were staying in Bath during the 18th and early 19th centuries. Well, I'll just quickly show you this while we're here. We're just passing through today, but we will be back here later in the week. We're going to be going to a very special event on Thursday evening, which I'm very excited for, so do make sure you stick around to watch that instalment in this video, because yeah, it's going to be fabulous. I can't wait. But yeah, so this is the heart of Bath.
May I join take picture?
Picture? Yeah, of course you can, yeah. After being accosted by Japanese tourists who wanted photos with us. I can't remember exactly what I was saying. Yeah, I was just saying that that's beautiful Abbey Square or Abbey Yard in Bath. And that is also where Mary Shelley stayed, somewhere around that area, I believe. We are now we've been to Waitrose and picked up some last few little bits of picnic supplies. Oh no, it's just started raining again. You can't believe the difference in the weather from yesterday. Scorching hot sunshine all day yesterday. Although it's still very warm and humid today. As you can see, it's completely changed. And that's just typical of British summer weather. We get a hot spell like that, and then it's very quickly followed by heavy thundery showers and downpours, and it gets grey and humid. Never mind, we shall persevere and enjoy as much as we can. Just hope the picnic doesn't get rained off too much this afternoon. But yeah, so we're just heading back to the car now to pick up the picnic after we've just picked up the last few little bits and pieces, and then we're going to have a wander up towards the Royal Crescent and see who else is about for the picnic. And this is the famous Royal Crescent in Bath. It's just amazing buildings, and then down there we can spot a load of people in Regency costume, so we'll be heading that way. And this house on the corner here, that's number 1 Royal Crescent. That is a museum, and it's basically dedicated to showcasing life on the Royal Crescent in Georgian England. So if you want to see what life was like for the gentry living up here in all their splendour, that is the museum to go to. And we're probably not going to go to it on this trip. I have been to it before, but I will pop links to it down below in the description if I remember, so you can check it out. Is that a more wonderful sight than lots of fabulously dressed people gathered for a picnic in surroundings such as this? How lovely is this? So many pretty dresses and costumes. Oh, and now this is how you do picnicking properly. Oh, there's Bob. I can see Bob. Bob's on the end there. Sorry?
On the end there.
There.
Oh yeah. There's a cat there.
And there's a Sandy.
There's a cat there.
What am I looking
There's a cat.
Cat.
Hello.
Oh, so there is. Oh, kitty! Little picnic kitty. I'm feeling decidedly shown up by our little picnic that we've put together. However, we did bring our best china. wonderful way to spend an afternoon. That was a very pleasant afternoon, enjoying the atmosphere here at the Royal Crescent in Bath. So lovely to see everybody all dressed up and gather together for a picnic like that. Really is really nice. So yes, and the sun has come out as well after a rather grey start this morning. Thankfully not quite as hot as it was yesterday, a bit more of a breeze, and yeah, it's nice sunshine this afternoon. But we unfortunately are heading home for a few days, but we'll be back for some more Regency shenanigans later in the week. So do keep watching, and I'll see you in the next part of this video. Oh, of course, they're going to park right there, right there. I've just got video of me stuffing my face today.